They were identical twins, but their lives were worlds apart. I paid my twin 20 million to be me for 1 week. She learned to be me a little too well. When I returned, she refused to give my life back. The system says I'm you now. She had my fingerprints, my voice, my face. I was locked out of my own life. She was better at being me than I was. My own lawyer said I had no proof I was the real one. The twin who stole my life. Dear listeners, I truly appreciate every one of you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to enjoy more Zoe folktales. Now let us start from the beginning. In the world of glass skyscrapers and billion naira deals, there lived a woman named Kemi who had everything. But she was about to learn that the most dangerous enemy is not a rival across the boardroom table, but the one who shares your face. Kemi was the queen of her empire. But the crown was heavy. Endless meetings, international calls, and the constant pressure were crushing her spirit. Her escape was a photo of her identical twin, Taupe. They were two seeds from the same tree, but life had planted them in very different soils. Taupe was the free spirit, an artist who lived in a vibrant but chaotic studio. She was talented, but success was a fickle friend to her. The breaking point was a mandatory week-long executive retreat. It's just team building and boring presentations, Kemi groaned. A waste of my time. And then, a wicked brilliant idea was born. Taupe, she said on the phone, how would you like to make more money in a week than you do in a year? Taupe was hesitant. Pretend to be you? Kemi, I can't run a billion naira company. You don't have to, Kemi laughed. You just have to smile, nod, and sit through speeches. The offer was 20 million naira. For Taupe, it was a lifeline. She could clear her debts, buy new equipment, and breathe easy for a year. Kemi handed over her life, access cards, the schedule, even a device with a voice modulator to mimic her corporate tone. It's foolproof, Kemi assured her. The final step was a digital signature on a strict NDA. Standard procedure, Kemi said, rushing her. Taupe signed without reading every clause. As Kemi left for a hidden vacation, she felt a twinge of unease. She dismissed it. It was just her sister. What was the worst that could happen? The first day, Taupe was terrified. But she was a performer at heart. She studied Kemi's walk, her cool gaze, her firm handshake. She discovered she was good at it. The power of command was intoxicating. People jumped at her every word. They respected her. No, they feared her. She didn't just attend meetings, she absorbed them. She asked sharp questions, learning secrets about mergers and hidden company funds Kemi never bothered with. She found Kemi's private digital diary. The deepest fears, the insecurities, the past mistakes. Taupe was no longer pretending, she was becoming. When Kemi returned, refreshed and smiling, she found a different sister waiting for her. Taupe stood in her penthouse, wearing her clothes, with a gaze of cold ownership. You can leave now, Taupe said calmly. The company, the apartment, the accounts, they're all under my control. I've had the passwords changed. Kemi laughed, thinking it a joke. Then she saw her own security team at the door, taking orders from Taupe. The laughter died in her throat. This is insane. I'm Kemi Adesanya, she screamed. Taupe smiled. Are you? The biometrics at the office recognize me. The board has had productive meetings with me all week. Taupe played her trump card. She revealed a secret company project, one so confidential only the real CEO could know. Kemi had never even read the brief. Kemi called the police. But when they arrived, Taupe showed them the NDA, the financial records, and calmly stated her twin sister was having a mental breakdown. She was escorted from her own home. The world saw a wealthy CEO evicting her unstable, jealous twin. The perfect narrative crafted by the new Kemi Adesanya. Kemi had one ally, her personal assistant, Funmi. She was the only one who knew the little quirks, the real Kemi's tells. She knew something was terribly wrong. They met in secret. She's different, Funmi whispered. She's ruthless. She fired 3 people today. She's digging into old financial records. Taupe, meanwhile, was consolidating power. She found skeletons in the company's closet, a slush fund, a bribed official, and used them to blackmail the board into loyalty. Kemi went to a lawyer. He was optimistic until he saw the evidence. "Ma'am," he said, "biometrics, witness testimony, financial control. She has a stronger legal claim to be you than you do." With her accounts frozen and her name stolen, Kemi was homeless. She moved into Tope's old, dusty art studio, a cruel irony that mocked her. She tried to get a job, but her face was on financial news as a visionary leader. No one would hire the imposter. Her identity was now her prison. FundMe provided her with a secret recording from a board meeting. Tope was planning to sell a core part of the company, a division their father had built. It was a betrayal of their legacy. Kemi realized this wasn't just about money. This was about envy festering for decades. Tope wasn't just stealing her future, she was erasing their shared past. Shocking, right? Please hit the subscribe button if you are enjoying the story. In her darkest moment, Kemi found Tope's childhood diary. In it she read the words, "One day I will show them all. I will live in her world and I will do it better." The plan had been years in the making. The retreat was just the opportunity Tope had been waiting for. Kemi had walked right into her twin's trap. Kemi's lawyer called with devastating news. Tope was using the NDA against her, suing her for identity theft and corporate espionage. The hunter had become the prey. FundMe was caught accessing confidential files to help Kemi. Tope publicly fired her, destroying her reputation and Kemi's last link to her old life. Kemi hit rock bottom. Sitting in the dark studio, she had nothing left. No money, no name, no allies. She was a ghost. But in the darkness, an ember of fury ignited. She was not a ghost. She was Kemi Adesanya. And she would fight for her life with the one thing Tope didn't have, the truth. Her weapon was memory. Not corporate secrets, but childhood secrets. The kind you can't find in a file. She reached out to their aging childhood nanny. "Tell me a story about me and Tope," she asked. Something only the real Kemi would remember. She found their primary school teacher, their first crush. She built an army of witnesses who knew her soul, not just her face. Meanwhile, Tope's reign was cracking. Her decisions were cold and profit-driven, alienating longtime clients who valued their relationship with the old Kemi. Kemi arranged a live televised interview for both of them. "Let the world see us side by side," she challenged. "Let them decide who is real." Backstage, Tope was confident. She had all the data. But Kemi was calm. She had the heart. On air, the host asked about their first pet. Tope gave the correct name. But Kemi told the story of how it died, and how they cried together under the mango tree. The host asked about their father's last words. Tope recited the official version. Kemi whispered the real, private words he only said to her, making the host tear up. The final question was about a scar. Tope had none. Kemi rolled up her sleeve, showing a faint line. "We were 7. You pushed me off the swing. You said you were sorry every day for a year." The public sentiment shifted instantly. The cold, corporate CEO was the imposter. The emotional, truthful woman was the real Kemi. The board, seeing the PR disaster and remembering the real Kemi's leadership, turned on Tope. They voted to suspend her pending an investigation. As security moved to escort Tope out, she looked at Kemi. For a moment, it wasn't a thief looking at her victim, but a broken, jealous sister looking at her twin. Kemi did not press charges. The legal battle would have destroyed them both. Instead, she offered Tope a choice: get help and get out. She gave Tope a portion of the money she had originally been promised, enough to start over somewhere new on her own terms. Kemi returned to her company, but she was changed. She was humbler, wiser. She reinstated FundMe with a promotion and apologized to the employees Tope had wronged. She even visited Tope's art studio. She saw the incredible talent she had been too busy to notice. She realized her sister's true wealth was never in a bank account. Kemi started a foundation for aspiring artists in her sister's name. It was an apology and an acknowledgement of the path not taken. She never saw Tope again. But sometimes she would receive a postcard from a distant country, with a small, beautiful painting on the back. No words, just art. Kemi had won back her life. But the cost was the innocence of her sisterhood. Some mirrors, once broken, can never be made whole again. And so, children, remember this: be careful what you give away, even to family. For your name, your face, your life, these are not just assets. They are your soul. Please don't forget to like and hit the subscribe button. See you next week.